Hey, Cooter.
Joe!
Check this out. There's Anywhere But Here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about Anywhere But Here.
What's Anywhere But Here? Anywhere But Here in Mississippi?
No, man, Anywhere But Here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the wars in the stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere But Here podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Anywhere But Here, episode 76. I'm Tom.
I'm in.
And you can find us at abhpod.com, where you can go up into the right-hand corner. There's an Amazon banner up there. You can click on that, do your shopping. Everything you buy, we get 5% of, which helps us with our equipment buying and website hosting fees and stuff like that.
That it does.
Keeps us going for another year. One more year.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's...
What's it?
It's 4 more years or something. It's... I don't know.
Oh, is it
Political
American
or something, isn't
political?
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
abhpod.com. You can follow us on Twitter at ABH.
ABH.
At ABHpod. At ABHpod.
I love Anywhere But Here. It's a good podcast.
Oh, starting out well. So, yeah, that one. And facebook.com/ABHpod as well. You can interact with us. Share stories. You know, comment on links we post.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
And which people do. And I'm sure they have done this week.
Probably.
Maybe. Again, we're recording in advance because this week we're actually recording a ship tie in transit, which I know you'll be very, very happy about.
Yeah, we're trying to work our schedules, depends where you're from in the world.
Either. Let's call the whole thing off.
Yes, we're trying to...
No one says patata, though.
No.
No one has ever said patata. It is potato.
Tomato?
Tomato, you can, like, yeah,
Tomato.
people that don't say it proper.
It's tomato, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
And potato. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, schedules. We're trying to work them out so we can get sort of like ship tie and transit worked regularly and even maybe have like podcast business meetings.
Perhaps. Very serious.
That's what I was thinking anyway. I don't know if I told Tom.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, yeah, that.
Also, for Ship Tie and Transit, this next coming month, both myself and Anthony have time off work. So if you're another podcaster or even someone who wants to contribute in some way, record, a little snippet of something weird and wonderful. I mean, first off, go listen to the first Ship Tie and Transit.
Just to get an idea of it.
Over at abhpod.com.
I mean, I suppose you could even contribute by just taking a quick shit.
Yeah, give us a quick shit
to
talk about. Just a random... funny thing that, like, is interesting factoid. But yeah, so get in contact with us if you want to be a host on it with one of us or both of us or
with your
even
own friends.
with your own friends. Yeah. Just let us know what you're going to talk about. We'll kind of, the outline is basically 10-15 minutes each on your own chosen subject.
Yeah.
With a couple of quick shits thrown in the middle.
Yeah. And that is what's known as a tangent in the industry.
Indeed it is. And so this month is your time to shine.
Yes.
With us. Because it's not...
Or for us.
Yeah, but you can find that over at abhpod.com as well.
Yeah, along with the Tom and Joe
episodes.
show as well.
Yes, which is another one of the podcasts we put out. You can also find us on YouTube. You can watch us get confused and flummoxed and wonder what the hell we're going to say next at youtube.com/abhpodcast.
Half the fun's in the face.
Indeed it is.
That's what she said. You
can also find us on all sorts of other apps and things. You can find us at Stitcher Radio. You can find us on Pocket Cast.
Yes.
And as it's the start of the month... Go to podcastland.com and give one or all of our shows a vote.
Yes.
And that basically ups us onto their main page, perhaps, if we get enough.
Yeah, it might get us, if we get enough votes, we get it as a featured podcast for the month or the day or the week.
And please leave ratings and reviews on iTunes and all those other places that stock us. Yes, you can basically find us anywhere.
Yeah, and make sure you subscribe so you don't have to go looking for us every month. We just
if you have randomly stumbled
across the power of technology.
Yeah, it's an amazing time we live in where you don't even have to go looking for things. You can they just magically appear.
We've got friends we've never met.
It's mad, isn't it? Mental. this country and other countries all across the world. We have people that we talk to now that we've never spoken to before and we'll never meet face to face, possibly. Who knows?
Although, maybe.
Although, perhaps.
So, this week's one, as we're doing a pre-record, we're going to do what we usually do and kind of have it around a topic, because we can't, obviously, we can't talk about news.
Current affairs or anything like that.
So this week, because we've never spoken about it really, have we?
We haven't. Lots of other people have, and that's why we stayed away from it, I think.
And I think we've mentioned it in passing, but we are going to talk about games, video games, computer games, whatever you want to call them. Because recently, the last year, the PlayStation 4 came out and the Xbox One, and it was a bit slow.
Well, it was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it? Because it didn't feel like
there was no big launch titles.
No. Well, no, and there's still really... It's been slow even now. I mean, one that we're going to talk about later on is still available on the PS3.
Yeah, there are no real console exclusives out.
Which is odd. Because actually, the last generation consoles, the PS3 and the Xbox One...
Xbox 360.
The Xbox One is the new one, isn't it? I'm not an Xbox.
Obviously.
I'm not an Xbox player.
The One is the newest one, not the first one.
The X-Bone.
Yeah.
It's the 360 and the PS3 were getting towards the pinnacle of what they could perform at.
Yeah, I mean, on the PlayStation, one of the last big games that was just like for the old generation was The Last of Us, which was an incredible looking game, and it's part of my shame pile. Unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say, but they are releasing a remastered version in the vein of Tomb Raider for the PlayStation 4. Yes, but they're updating the models and the textures and everything and the draw distance. And one of the developers tweeted out last week or yesterday that it's ridiculous the improvement the PlayStation 4 is giving it. Like the way it looks now. So that's one I will be getting for the PS4.
Yeah. The PS4, the only game I'm interested in at the moment that still hasn't come out just yet is the new Batman one. Batman Arkham.
But that's coming out on the PlayStation 3 as well, isn't it?
Is it?
I could have sworn it was.
Oh.
I think, hang on.
I'm not sure. Yeah, see, I thought because that was pretty much when I saw the trailer for it. Sorry, I'm stumbling all over the place at the moment. When I saw the trailer for that, it's been the only thing that's really made me want to get a PS4.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that
no, sorry, it isn't. It is only new gen.
I thought so.
It is only the new
so
gen
it is.
consoles.
It remains the single game.
Yeah, and that's the reason. That game is the reason. Was it Rocksteady didn't make Arkham Origins? Isn't it?
Because they were working on Arkham Knights.
Yeah, and you can see.
Yeah.
I mean, are you a fan of the mech suit though? It was awesome.
Yeah.
The thing is, it is awesome,
Yeah.
but it's like it's not Batman.
Not really. It's a bit too. Well, if you think about, I mean, everyone quotes it, but The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
He has a massive armoured suit to battle Superman, but it's not in the same vein as that. It's more like a huge... It's like... I'm going to show my geek card here, but did you ever used to play or were you ever aware of Warhammer 40,000?
I had a couple of games of it, yeah.
He looks like a space marine. Effectively, it's a massive suit of armour, powered
See,
suit
now you
of
say
armour.
that. How far through have you got with the Court of Owls and the City of Owls?
I've got to the end of Court of Owls, so I'm not at City of Owls.
I'm not saying that suit shows up in City of Owls,
but it might.
But it might show up in City of Owls.
Fairly
early on, actually.
Yeah. So it's becoming.
So I have seen it. I do know when you were talking about and it is like fucking hench suit. Yeah. But funny, we started on Batman. Again, part of my shame pile. On the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Plus, they released Arkham City as a free download. And I did download that and I played an hour or two into it.
Really?
And then I stopped because that's just what I do.
Okay.
Well, that's what I used to do. I'm trying my hardest not to.
You've started doing your game channel, especially. It's Ant here.
It's Ant here.
It's Ant here, sorry.
Because I got, hey guys, it's Ant here.
That's right, yeah. Which you can find on YouTube as well.
Yeah, just search for It's Ant here. Because like you say with Red Dead Redemption, I started playing it, but I got fed up. And I did actually record a video of me playing something. And I was talking, I can't remember what it was. It's on my computer. No, this is like recently.
Oh,
and
right.
I was kind of doing a channel update, and it was going to be like, because Watchdogs is coming out soon, and I want to do a playthrough of that, which I haven't. And I was talking about it, and it was just part of, I got fed up of, and I think I mentioned it on here, I got fed up of having to record while I was playing.
Right.
And I couldn't enjoy the game because I'm talking.
Yeah, it became work rather than pleasure.
Yeah. So I recorded that video. I never put it out. It was Trials, actually. It was a Trials video.
Oh, that's right.
Trials Evolution video. But now you say about the Arkham, I've not played them, and I really want to. So during the Steam summer sale, which ended last week,
yes,
I saw they had Arkham Asylum on offer for like $2.50.
So you had to get it.
So I went, I'll get Arkham Asylum, and oh look, Arkham City and Arkham Origins are all on sale as well. So I picked up the whole trilogy for £12.
That's a really, really good investment for your time.
And then I went, I brought them, let's check they all work. So I did. And unfortunately, but I think it happens when I watched the video of Arkham Origins, is the difference between the video, the FMVs, and then you go into the game, the graphical difference is shit, isn't it? There's like a massive difference because I mean it's worse for me because I'm playing on a laptop, so it can't handle the top level graphics. So it's fairly basic level graphic, and it goes from looking really good to a flat shaded black suit, bat suit, and it's just weird. Yeah,
going back to Arkham Asylum now is not enjoyable from a visual point of view.
It still looks fairly good, actually.
It's probably the best one out of all three gameplay wise, because it's.
Or is it just because it was a new thing?
It's more enclosed, I think.
Yeah, I think that was my problem with Arkham City. It was free roam. It was too big for me.
And that's not a bad thing either. I mean, it's not huge.
But then I like free roam, I think, more than linear.
Yeah, because you can do what you want.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have started to play Arkham Asylum. How far am I? I'm still on my way to get Joker the first time.
Okay.
Like going through the asylum.
Yeah.
Like, you just got in there and I'm gone up the lift shaft. Well, around the side of it. But yeah, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
It is good fun. It's Batman, isn't it?
Exactly. You've got all the larger than life characters.
The combat system's really easy. It's just click, click, click.
It is button mashing. Well, not even that. It's single button fighting, until you get to the kind of combo moves. Yeah,
I mean, you can do combos and have it more than just one button, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
So it is more about the story. So I mean, that's what I'm playing. So I mean, the Steam summer sale, like I say, I got all three of those for £12. I think I've spent the Steam summer sale. Like, if you ever get into gaming, be wary. On a laptop, or on a PC. Be wary.
I've never been a laptop/PC gamer, if I'm honest.
They are really good.
Yeah, no, I know.
When you get used to it.
My brother's really into it. He's built his own Alien machine.
Oh, Alienware,
yeah. And it looks awesome, and it can run ridiculous, graphics and stuff like that. But yeah, I've never really gotten into it, if I'm honest.
No,
and I get that PCs are better because you can tune them up so that you can play older games and they look brilliant, and you can,
It's one of those difficult situations. Like, using a controller is intuitive, but using a keyboard and mouse, like I mean, when I first started playing on PCs, like the WASD for up, down, left, was really weird and difficult to get used to. Yeah, but it makes sense to me now because you've got the WASD, and usually control with your little finger is to crouch. Right, and shift is to sprint, and then spacebar with your thumb is to jump. So it's all there, and then you've got your primary and secondary on your mouse buttons, and then your mouse wheel is usually selecting weapons, and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so be wary of the Steam summer sales and the autumn sales. I spent £25 without even thinking in one day, and that's all I spent because I've had to stop myself. And there's not really been a lot else that I've wanted to buy. But like, I got 7 games for that, which is crazy. So I mean, I got the Arkham trilogy. I brought Skyrim, which was £2.49.
And that is an RPG. It's a massive
That's a
RPG,
massive game.
Yeah, so you're going to be on for
Dead Space 1 and 2, because I was talking to Miles and he said you should play. I know Dead Space 3 is out, but that wasn't on sale. But they're like horror FPS games.
I've heard good things about those.
So I've brought those. That was a tenner. And then I also brought an indie game called Super Meat Boy. which just looks like fun, and that wouldn't have been much more than 2-3 quid. And it's just like I just spent money without thinking.
Yeah,
but
it's
I've now
worrying,
got
isn't it?
a list of games to play through, which is a problem because I'm just building up my games because there's like 3 or 4 games coming out on the PS4 now that I want.
And you see, this is why I tend to buy a game at a time, because I find it really, really difficult to have a couple or 3 games there that are new that I want to play, because I had this problem over Christmas with Batman Arkham Origins and Assassin's Creed Black Flag at the same time, and I desperately wanted to do both, but I can't because I have to complete something all the way through.
But that's the thing, I made the mistake of getting Black Flag about 3 weeks before Watchdogs came out.
Right, yeah.
So Black Flag took a back seat.
Yeah.
But that happened with Assassin's Creed Brotherhood as well. I brought that, but then another game came out, so that took a back seat. And I found that actually with all the Assassin's Creed games,
you need to devote a lot of time to them.
These are games that are on my shame pile. I mean, all of these ones that I brought on Steam as well are probably shame pile games. Like the Arkham games especially, I already said. Skyrim. I do like my RPGs, but I know they can consume hours.
Yeah, see...
Like, on Steam, it tracks your gameplay time, and in one of the reviews there was a guy who'd spent like over 1,000 hours on it, which is just insane.
That is mental, isn't it? I mean, I used to spend hundreds of hours on stuff like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy was a massive time vortex that stole most of my summers when I was a kid.
That's another one we spoke about last year. I brought Final Fantasy 13 because it looked really good. And I stopped playing it after a couple of hours. Like, I'm trying to stop doing that sort of thing.
Right.
With Watchdogs, like we said, it's coming out. I mean, how much do you know about Watchdogs?
All I know is from what's on the trailer for it, which is that you are some sort of hacker.
Yes.
You can control pretty much anything in the city. You can control, like, traffic lights. The trains, apparently.
I haven't. See, that's the thing. I've never ever done that.
No,
with the trains. No. I haven't got that far. Well, I mean, I'm about halfway through now, to be fair, and I haven't played with the trains. But yeah, you can do traffic lights, bridges. You can raise and lower bridges. You can.
So you basically
steam pipes.
You control the city. You control your environment, which makes it more difficult for, say, the police. I assume.
Yes.
To catch you. Or
yeah,
stop you.
The police or just enemies in general. Yeah, you can explode steam pipes in the road. You can fucking put blockers, the bollards up. You can put spikes up. I mean, that's an element of the gameplay. You are a hacker, but you're a guy called Aidan Pierce, and you're basically avenging the murder of your daughter, your niece. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't got a daughter. I don't know why it's his niece. Like some of the story elements of Watch Dogs, it's a bit like,
it's forced.
It's not great.
Yeah, contrivance.
But it's fun. It's really fun to play. I told you earlier, I made the mistake of accepting an online race invitation.
Yep.
And then I got into the online gameplay.
It's like illegal street racing and stuff like that, Need for Speed style. Yeah,
and I made that mistake in one game because I'm trying to get through the story before I play with any of that, but it just
didn't happen.
But it worked out for the best because rather than putting the story gameplay up on my YouTube, I've put a race video up that you've seen. But it's really good. I like the element of it as well. You could be on your way to your next mission waypoint, and then you'll get a thing saying somebody's hacking you, which is another player from across the world.
Oh, really?
They've gone in and they've looked and they said, I want to hack someone.
Okay.
And then it pulls up you up by randomly pull. It shows I want to choose that player. So then you have to track this person down and find where they're hiding, and you have to kill them. Okay. Otherwise, you used to lose notoriety points, but they've taken that element away from it now.
Right.
So now you don't have to find them.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed
like a
that.
Grand Theft Auto style notoriety thing, or
you
become more
respected.
Yeah.
You've got that element. It does have a lot of Grand Theft Auto style elements, but it's an open world
crime game.
Yeah, it's Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. It's all it's that mechanic. It's like a standard now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Aidan Pierce is your name. Set in Chicago. Hang on. But anyway, like I say, it's fun. It's great fun. I'm enjoying playing it. It's not what I was hoping it would be.
No.
But then I don't know what I was hoping it would be. But I'm not enjoying it as much as I was hoping I was.
Like
would enjoy
the advert makes it look like, I don't know, quite. It looks like it's quite intense. It looks like it could be. Well, again, like it doesn't give a lot away, does it? That's the thing. It doesn't tell you what it's about. It just, you're this guy with a raspy voice
and a phone that can do anything.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all that the advert gave away, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, it's, the story's not as intense as it could be. I mean, I suppose it could be if you got into it that much, but I don't find myself getting engrossed in the story that much. But it's just fun, and there was a lot of controversy over the graphical part of it as well. When they showed it at E3, it looked amazing, and it seems like the graphics have been downgraded since E3, and the developer said it was due to stability, because at the settings it was at, the game, yes, it looked good for that part of it, but it wrecked other parts of the game.
Right.
And people are like saying, they have negative views because of that, but it's like that's nothing to do with the gameplay itself.
Yeah,
it's just graphics. I mean, people play Minecraft for hours.
Exactly,
that's got
and
very
that's
basic graphics.
Like pretty much 8-bit, isn't it? Really, or
I mean, it's not a game that requires amazing graphics.
No,
but I don't know. Yeah, but I'm enjoying playing that. It's great fun, and I need to get it finished. Well, before August, when Diablo 3 comes out, because I'm supposed to be playing that with Miles.
Okay.
We're going to be streaming it on Twitch as well. He's going to teach me how to play it.
Righto. So it's going to be a live tutorial.
Pretty much, yeah. Just us playing it on Twitch. There's no need for it, but
why not?
It might be fun, and I think his cousin might be joining in as well.
Oh, right.
So that'd be fun, because I've played the demo on the PS3 and I played the demo on my laptop, and like I said, I lost about 3 hours.
Yeah.
See,
this is my thing with RPGs, and generally I stuck to Final Fantasy because I spent enough fucking time on Final Fantasy when I was younger, not to want to try any others to lose hundreds of hours on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You lost so much time with that, you didn't want to get into another series.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. And
just in case another Final Fantasy came out.
Yeah, which they always do.
Yes.
I haven't played one since 13. Though.
So you haven't played 13-2?
No.
Lightning Returns?
No, I haven't played that because I didn't like 13. It was too linear. There wasn't enough open world.
I did get that feeling when I was playing it.
Yeah, it was rubbish. It was utterly rubbish.
I mean, it looks good. The story's fairly interesting. I mean, the stories for Final Fantasy, I think, are always interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, my favourite is still 8.
Yeah, me too, because it was my first one.
Yes. Well, I watched people play 7, but 8 was my first one that I played.
Yeah, and I think that's the way that it goes with Final Fantasy, because everyone bleats on about 7. And I like 7. 7's fine.
Yeah.
But 8 was just better. It had a brilliant story. Again, it was years before the end of the PS1, but they never matched the graphics of the cutscenes.
Yeah,
the cutscenes. The
cutscenes of 8 were brilliant.
And I completed it. I went through it like 3 or 4 times.
Jesus.
Yeah, because I just loved it. It was great. 9 was alright, but it wasn't as good because it went all weird and cartoony and had people with tails.
I never ever played 9. I never saw 9.
No?
Well, I've seen clips of 9, but I never saw anyone play
it. Was more kind of fantasy based. It was set in a kind of steampunk
What, in
world.
a game called Final Fantasy?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's strange.
Well, because even though 8 was fantastical, it was...
All I remember is the little guy with the blue cloak and the hat over his and just the black face.
I can't remember
just
his name.
Not black face, just dark with just eyes.
Like
I remember
shadow.
him. Yeah.
I can't remember his name now. He had a name, but he was a mage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to come back.
No.
But you had odd characters, and it was all a bit strange. 10 was all right. 10 was pretty good.
I was watching my friend play it, and it was all sphere grid and blitzball.
Yeah. Blitzball was an amazing,
that looked really good.
Side game.
I mean, when you look at the mechanic of it now, and the animation is so...
Oh, it's crap now, but it was addictive as anything. And then I got Final Fantasy X-2 as well without realising that it was...
That was just the dress-up game, wasn't it?
Yeah. You collected dresses, and the whole thing was centred around you being like a pop star. Yeah. And it was Final Fantasy for girls, and I put it down after realising what it was. And then... curiosity got the better of me. And I was like, I've bought it and it's been there for months and I should just do it because it's canon.
Yeah, because you have to.
Because as I've mentioned in the past on this podcast, I'm a horrible completionist.
Yes.
If I have something, I have to see it through to the end.
Several platinum trophies.
Yeah. And so I blasted my way through it in a couple of months and got to the end and didn't do any of the side quests because I couldn't be fucked with it. I completed the story and
that's good enough.
Yeah, that was good enough for me. And then, like I say, 12 I really enjoyed because it was a bit more. It was massive.
Yeah, because 11 was the first online one, wasn't it?
11 I'd missed out on.
But that was online, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. 12 was the medieval type one.
Yeah, and it was way more open world, a bit World of Warcraft-y.
Right.
In that you literally, like, it was one huge world.
Yeah, and the battles weren't like
it wasn't
turn-based.
No.
It was within the game, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
I did play a little bit of it.
It was really good. And then 13 was a bit of a letdown, and I haven't bothered since because I literally don't have time to play those kinds of games anymore, which is a shame because I like them.
I started to play A Realm Reborn, which is the new online MMORPG version of it. It's the new online one.
Yeah.
And because I played the demo because the demo was free to download, free to play. And it was really, really good. I really got into it and really enjoyed it. But then I had to stop playing it because I found out you have to buy the game, which is like 50 quid. And then it's a tenner a month.
Right.
To keep playing it. And I was like, I can't spend that much money on it. And I really liked it. I was really disappointed.
Yeah. See, that's another side of like online gaming and stuff where you have to have a subscription to play. I don't like that.
The thing with like PlayStation Plus... That makes sense.
You that's play that, different, isn't it? In a way.
Encapsulates every game.
Yeah.
Essentially, I mean, Final Fantasy on the PS4, you still need, the subscription
as well.
There's single subscription. But like to play Watchdogs online, you've got to have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
But that's because then there's dedicated servers, so the online play is more stable.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation 3 online play was horrific. It wasn't very stable. You got kicked out of games all the time.
Yeah.
But the PlayStation 4 and you've got that and you get free games for it as well.
Well, this is it. It's not just to do with that particular game. It's like it gives you discounts off everything and then every month you get like free games offered to you, and that's great. And that's what you're paying for, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Whereas an online game and you pay £10 a month and they occasionally come out with an update or... Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It just seems like a bit much to me.
And when they release an expansion pack, you've still got to buy it.
Yeah.
Whereas with games, I mean, Watch Dogs and Call of Duty, you buy season passes, which entitles you to get all of the downloadable content.
Yeah.
But yes, it might cost you a lot of money initially, like 30, 40 quid.
But if you buy all those things individually...
It's discounted.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you buy them individually, they end up costing you more.
Yeah.
I haven't ever brought a season pass. I brought one for Black Ops, actually.
I'm about to for Arkham Origins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's another thing I didn't mention, actually, with the Arkham trilogy on Steam. The first two, City and Asylum, it's the complete edition, so you get all the downloadable content with it.
Oh, that's good.
But
that's
Origins
really
is just the base one,
Yeah.
But yeah, you say like RPGs online, you need subscriptions. With fucking... What was I talking about? Diablo 3. You don't. But then I don't think that's an MMORPG. I think you go in with your group. Right. So it's a slightly different... But I'm not sure how the online play with that works. But I mean, I'd need to talk to Mark. I mean, that's part of the teaching, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Because I played the single player and it's fairly linear. It's not very open world.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's just up to the demo, the end of the demo. So I'm not sure how it's integrated.
I'm sure it probably gets
interesting.
Wider as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Like most decent RPGs, you start off learning the ropes and then it lets you go out.
But yeah, I mean, that's something that Miles can obviously teach me about. But I'm looking for that's next month that comes out, so I need to get some pennies saved quickly.
Yes.
And I need to figure out. And finish Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
And then obviously Destiny comes out in September, which is just going to take all of my time up for the next year. Yeah. So I played the alpha, and I wasn't sold on it. Right. Watching the trailers and hearing about it.
Which one is Destiny again?
Destiny is described as... Now let's see if you can figure this out. It is an online multiplayer action role-playing first-person shooter video game.
Right, okay. So it's pretty much everything but a racing game.
Yeah, essentially. It's an FPS. I was going to say at its core, but it's RPG at its core.
But you play first-person shooter, for those not in the know. Yeah. RPG is role-playing game.
Yeah, the system is role-playing. It's a role-playing game, but it's from first-person perspective.
Because normally, if you're doing role-playing game, you take on the character and your third-person.
Yeah, I think Fallout was an FPS RPG, first-person role-playing game. I think that was third-person Fallout. I never played it, so I don't know. Borderlands, I think, is as well.
Right.
A similar sort of thing. But the online aspect of it is what sets it apart, I think. So you're playing your missions. I started playing, I was this person, I'm down on Earth. You're set in Earth, post-apocalyptic Earth.
Yeah.
And you get invaded by alien race. So you're going to clear them out, essentially, I think. I don't know, but... So you're going around and on your own you're playing and you're shooting these monsters and they've got health bars above them, so every time you shoot them a number flies out of them.
Okay.
So it's like when you're dealing damage to them, and when they die they do drops and you get XP, so you're leveling up. It's that element. And the RPG, you can upgrade your weapons the more you use them.
Right.
So you've got that aspect of it, but then you'll see a name over in the distance. You know, what the fuck's that? And you go there and it's another player.
Okay.
And
so
they're
you're
in your
online...
You're always online, even in your single player, and there's a guy over there, so you can go out and clear mobs together. And then they have random world events. It'll come up and it'll say there's a random open world event. Do you want to take part in it? You can deny it, or so you accept it, and you go over, and there's a big fuck off great monster that you all have to work together to beat. And it's just amazing. Like my dad, cool. I told my dad about it. He goes, "No, I don't want to have to play with people online." I said, "Yeah, but you don't have to."
Yeah. See, I'm much more of a solitary player as well.
But I am. I will play in games like that. I will play Call of Duty online. I will play Watchdogs online. I'd play Grand Theft Auto online. But they're separate sort of things. But this, you don't have to be online. You don't have to join in with these people. I think you can even turn it off in the options for this game.
Yeah.
But you can play. But I didn't want to be in with other people.
Sure.
But when it happened, I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. I'm going to go and join them."
Fair enough.
The only problem is the dungeons. I'll put them in inverted commas, because like RPGs have dungeons where there's a big boss that people have to join together to go and beat.
Yeah.
They do have that, and the one I played was like a level 6 dungeon. I got up to level 8 before attempting it, and I was with 2 other players. So there's 3 of you going to clear this dungeon and then kill the boss at the end. It's just really good. I don't know, this game, I was totally sold on it. So I'm going to that was the alpha, so that was really early, but it was really well done, and the beta starts in July, so I'm going to have to pre-order the game so I can get the code to play the beta, which is a problem because Diablo's coming out in August.
Ouch.
Yeah, and I haven't finished Watchdogs. So, but Destiny is just fantastic. I think it's like the $500 million game that it costs to make.
That's insane.
And it's been published... This is what surprised me. It's developed by Bungie and published by Activision as part of a 10-year publishing deal.
Okay.
This game is going to get huge. And this is out on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 as well.
Really?
Yeah. And it's going to be huge.
10 years for one game?
Yes. It's like Halo. I mean, Bungie developed Halo.
I see, right. Yeah,
originally.
So there's going to be spin-offs and stuff like that as well, do you reckon?
Possibly, or they'll just expand the game, World of Warcraft. I mean, World of Warcraft's, 15, 20 years old now?
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
So, and it's voiced by Peter Dinklage.
Oh, well, there you go.
So there's a winner for you. I'm not sure which accent he's using in this game, though. But it's a very, very good game. I'm going to lose a lot of time on it, and I think if you're a fan of RPGs, I mean, maybe not if you don't like first-person shooters.
Yeah.
But it's just fantastic. I can't fault it at all.
Because their games I never...
There was nothing bad about it. I enjoyed every
right
aspect of it.
Yeah. Because the first-person shooter is a thing that I've never really been bothered about. Like Call of Duty, Doom, stuff like that. Quake. It never really... there's something about it that doesn't appeal to me. I don't know what that is. I think it's because I'm never going to be in that position and it doesn't interest me. Like war doesn't interest me.
But you're never going to be a master vigilante.
Yeah, but you're playing that character. You're playing as that character. Like first person, you're putting yourself in that position, aren't you?
First person shooters, I suppose there's no real developed character. Actually, I've never thought of it like that. You are kind of, your character isn't really part of the story. It's like you're observing the story.
Yeah, you're in the story, but you're not an integrity. Like
you are integrity. It's more like you're observing.
Yeah.
You're watching the story develop and you're there helping them.
Whereas third person things where you're playing as, say, Batman, or you're playing
and you
as
can see
Ezio or someone like that from Assassin's Creed, or even as far back, Final Fantasy, even those characters are the people that you're upgrading.
Yeah.
And you take there's a story there and you can get emotionally involved in it. And I suppose it comes from me watching films as well, perhaps. I don't really know. I just prefer character-based things rather than first person. In fact, I don't think I've ever owned a single first person game.
Apart from Portal. No, you've never even owned Portal.
I don't own Portal, no.
No, you borrowed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah. That I enjoyed, but that's because it's less about your character. You're not a character. Do you know what I mean?
It's a first person puzzler as well, though.
Working
it's not
out puzzles,
yeah.
I did enjoy Portal, but it's different. It's not really...
And the story was really good as well.
Yeah, the story is alright, yeah.
With old, what's his name being the voiceover?
Stephen Merchant,
who we mentioned last week.
And GLaDOS is a funny character as well.
Brilliant.
I started off, I suppose, the first console. My dad had an Atari, so I started off on Atari, and that was all kind of tanks and things like that, and it was top down kind of stuff like that. Effectively it was all the same thing. You had the aeroplane game where you were going up a river bombing bridges and stuff, and I could
people are going to hate us for not knowing what that is.
And you kind of tank based Pong type shooters where you were in a maze and you had to kill all the other tanks. Pac-Man. And then I progressed to the Mega Drive.
Yeah, or Sega Genesis for our United Statesians.
It's Mega Drive. And
because it's not even Genesis, because the Master System came before that. Yeah,
there was a Master System before it, and the Game Gear
was around the time of the Mega Drive. I think.
And then that was Sonic and Altered Beast and Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage
and
was Columns.
Awesome. Streets of Rage 2 actually was much better because you could call in support from Murphy. He'd show up in his police car and nuke the area. Yeah. And it would either be a bomb or it'd be a Gatling gun or something like that.
I just love that note, that as it comes in. It's like, that's all it did. Yeah.
And then I progressed to the PS1. And the first games I got for that were Worms.
Yeah.
And Ridge Racer.
Yes.
Which was a fun little arcade thing. No replay value.
I loved Ridge Racer.
I played it for hours, but really, I'm like, it was the same track, 2-3 tracks.
Yeah,
and you could only have 3 cars unless you completed.
But the only difference between the cars was it was either red, yellow, or blue.
Yeah.
There was no difference in handling.
No, one of them was faster than.
As
far as
I remember, it was just different colour.
You completed the Space Raiders game at the very beginning, and then you got all the cars.
Yeah.
But then you still had to go up against the black car.
Yeah.
At the end, and you had to beat that, and then you could play as that car, but you couldn't save it.
No, you had to do it every time. Didn't you?
Yeah.
Despite the memory card.
Yeah, it was strange. And then progressed up through there, and I did a lot of racing games. I played a lot of racing games. Never really got into Wipeout.
Really?
No.
The second one was much better.
2097. Yeah. I did have a demo of that and really enjoyed it, but I just never got into
demo discs. Whatever happened to demo discs?
Exactly. Yeah.
With the indie developer.
Yeah.
What were they called? Yo.
I can't remember. But it was on. They were on a black PlayStation, and you could develop your own games, couldn't you?
Yeah. But There were some really good ones as well. There's one that I played. It was odd. You were a baby, and you were getting invaded by people. I think it was Yo Jam or Yo something. Someone's looking it up. Like, how many words can you put into Google to get exactly what you want?
But yeah, see, this isn't it. Yeah, see.
No, but yeah, they were really, really. Those demo discs were great.
They were. They were. Brilliant.
They came with official PlayStation UK magazine.
Yeah, used to get loads of. I used to play demos rather than the full games.
Yeah, I suppose.
A lot of demos I played and enjoyed, but never went out and got the game because I didn't have the money. That's the thing.
Obviously, the PS1 Tekken was launched on PS1.
Tekken, yeah,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, Tekken 4 was the one that I really, really enjoyed on.
I can't even remember which one was my favourite one. Which one was the first one with Eddie in? The
2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, he was.
Because by the time it got to 4, you could Capoeira fighters. And I bought Tekken Tag Tournament 2 when it came out on the PS3. Yeah, it's such a great game.
Tekken Tag Tournament's awesome.
Yeah.
Just say how can we make this better? You can play as another character
at the same time.
So if you can't choose between two, have both.
And bowling, of course.
Oh, was a great Tekken bowling
was a great addition. And yeah, again, got stuck on started getting into Final Fantasy through 8, then I went on to 7 and then 9, 10. And it went through like that. Gran Turismo was another game that I really, really enjoyed. And the Formula 1 games as well. But that's only because of my love for the sport. Other people don't share that. And I totally get it. It's racing. It's going around in a circle.
I understand that more than I understand Championship Manager.
Yeah.
I never understood. My brother spent hours and hours playing Championship Manager. I just don't understand.
I got into it once.
I tried.
And then I weaned myself off it because I was like, it's actually pointless.
Yeah. I tried. I had a go on it and I spent about an hour on it and I was like, nope, not for me.
No. And even I had FIFA 97 on the Mega Drive, I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed playing the game.
Yeah, not a management simulator.
No, unless it's Theme Park or Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, now they're PC games.
They're management games.
And Theme Hospital. Was brilliant. The Sims I tried to get into and I couldn't be bothered.
Sims 2 I did. Sims 3 I didn't bother. Yeah. And mine was Roller Coaster Tycoon because I was just a fan of roller coasters. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, and you could design your own, and most of the ones that you designed yourself were so extreme that no one would ever go on them.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis. Did you ever play that? Because Resident Evil was a big thing.
No, I didn't play that. Resident Evil was when I spoke about on the Father's Day episode, I actually said we used to spend hours playing Resident Evil together. And it was the same with Tomb Raider, which was on the PS1 as well. Was one of those games where we'd sit and play. And I think usually my dad was controlling it or my brother. Resident Evil was my brother controlling it. It'd be like me, my dad, my brother, and a couple of my brother's friends all sitting there.
Yeah.
Like working out the puzzles together.
Yeah. And
it was the time when you used to sit and play.
Yeah.
With your mates.
Yeah.
Split screen or just
and this
joining in together.
That's my whole thing about online gaming. It's like I prefer being in the room with the people who are doing it rather than these disembodied voices on the internet.
The one thing I specifically remember about playing Resident Evil was the part where you go into a corridor and it's an L-shaped corridor, and when you go around the corner, it's the dogs jumping through the window. It was just like a room full of guys.
Yeah,
all kind of walk around the corner. Oh fuck!
And it was like that. Run. It was like that with Dino Crisis as well, because you'd be walking down a corridor and you knew a raptor was going to come out of somewhere.
Yeah, you just jump out.
But it was never the place you expected it, or like you open a lift door and it's there.
Yeah, Silent Hill as well.
Yeah, they were freaky games. Yeah, I hated them. I tried playing the first one and it shit me up. Yeah, it was.
Horror games are brilliant.
Yeah,
great fun. I mean, that's kind of something I wanted to do, like I said, with Dead Space.
Yeah,
where I said it to Miles. If I'm going to play a game like that, where it's a horror game, I kind of want to do it with a camera, record it,
so that you can have that
filming me, so everyone can watch me shit myself playing the game. I mean, I've showed you a video where I started playing Slender Man game.
Yes, yeah.
And I was just shitting myself playing that.
Even though nothing was happening, it's the anticipation.
Yeah, it's the noises. You hear the noises outside.
And the atmospheric music and stuff as well.
Yeah, just a low rumble just in the background constantly just puts you on edge.
Yeah,
Do you remember the multi-tap for the PS1?
Yes.
Did you ever have it?
No, I didn't.
I mean, my friend had it because
Friends
of
of
FIFA.
mine did. Yeah. You could put 4 people
Yeah, and it was the L shape or the V shape.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. That was classic.
Yeah.
How many blocks have you got left on your memory card?
That was it. Yeah, you had to be like, oh, if I'm buying this game, it takes up 3 blocks, but I only have 2. So what game do I get rid of?
Yeah. What save file do I delete?
I ended up with like 4 or 5 memory cards instead.
And I had the one which is the translucent one with the button on it with the 4 lights.
Oh, did you?
So you could either have 1, 2, 3, or 4, or you could like 1 and 2 together, or you could like 1 and 3 together, and 1 and 4, and you could have a lot of memory cards. But you had to go plug it in and go on it. 1, 2, 3. Turn the PlayStation on. Oh fuck! It wasn't on that one. Turn the PlayStation off. Click. You had to you couldn't change it. You had to click and reload the PlayStation to double check where the memory block was. Oh my god, that was funny. And Final Fantasy always took up most of a memory card, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like 10 blocks off 15.
Insane.
Too much.
Kids today don't know.
I know, they don't get it, do they? It's like, you can just keep saving, and then if you've got PlayStation Plus, you save it all online. There's
save it to the cloud,
unlimited space. Not so. Only 10 years ago.
You only had 15 blocks.
Yeah.
What did a block equate to? Who the fuck knows?
No one understands.
I imagine they were like 256 kilobyte cards, and it's
but
like...
some games took up more, even though they shouldn't have been that big. I didn't understand where the extra space came from. I can't remember.
I suppose it's the amount of options. Like with Final Fantasy, you had all your different your progress in the game, but you had the stats of each character as well, and the weapons and the magic that had to be saved. Because I remember when you went to that, because you got used to that, and you're like, cool, it takes up 3 blocks, that's easy. But then when you went to PlayStation 2, it was all on file size.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, so it was all depended on like how far you were through the game.
That was based on file size. But
the reason that I don't have a lot of free time, I suppose, or a lot of time to play myself on the console is the reason that I have started buying into the Lego games.
Yes.
Recently.
I need to get a second controller for the same reason.
Yeah. Because it's just fun. And I mean, we argue.
Of course.
Because that's the point of computer games.
Yeah.
It's the point of any
if you haven't figured it out, it's because of Joe.
You sit, sorry.
We didn't clear that up. We just we just hinted at it.
Yeah, sorry. I sit down with Joe and we play these games because she does enjoy gaming, but you've got to get the right kind of game. You started off with Little Big Planet.
Yes.
And they're really fun games as well.
This is it.
They're great games.
Liz will only play Mario or Sonic.
Right.
Which is why I think she'd like... I mean, she played Little Big Planet for a bit, which I think is why she'd like the Lego games.
Oh, definitely, because they're platformy and they're puzzle-based. Yeah. And it's more than just bashing enemies on the head.
Yeah, I mean, Lego is a lot about go and break that table, picture frame,
but the thing with Joe is she's like me
lamppost.
In that she will just destroy everything on the screen before moving into the next place, which is how I play the game as well, because you need those studs to buy things later on.
Caused a lot of arguments in Mario when we played New Super Mario Brothers on Wii. Me and Liz played together. That caused a lot of arguments because I'd be trying to finish the level. She'd go, you missed the coin! You missed the coin! Fuck off.
Whereas actually the coins aren't such a big deal in Mario.
They are. You've got to collect them all, apparently.
Are they? Really?
Apparently.
Oh, right, okay.
They're not a big... But Liz is a completion. She doesn't like if you don't get all the coins. And a lot of arguments in that as well was caused by the fact you could jump on each other's heads.
Right.
And you could leave each other behind and lose a life that way.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So and I said to her, we need to get a second controller to play that. She went, no, don't you remember Mario?
See,
we couldn't finish it because we got into too many arguments.
See, that's what we quite like about the newer Lego games as well, is that you don't have to be on the same screen. You can go to the other end of the city and do
is it split screen?
It's split screens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a bit annoying at first because it's not directly split. If you're on the same screen, it's one screen,
right?
But as soon as you wander off, it splits diagonally, but it also rotates.
Why?
Sometimes it's really you get used to it.
Yeah,
but it's a bit weird first off. But they're much better. I mean, since Christmas, we have platinumed Marvel DC superheroes.
Yeah, is that Batman 2?
Yeah,
yeah.
Both the Harry Potter ones. Lord of the Rings.
If you didn't hear that,
the
Joe
voice
was shouting
around
from
the
the other
corner.
room.
We're working on Pirates of the Caribbean at the moment, and
Yeah.
then we've also got Marvel superheroes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Star Wars. Yeah, but yeah, I'm working my way through Star Wars.
Yeah, I've got Lego Marvel superheroes, which I have. I finished the story.
Yeah.
I've not gone around the city collecting everything yet because, like I say, other games have come out that I've started playing. I would like to get platinum. I'm not fussed. I've only got platinum on one game, which is Rain.
Yeah.
Which was like a 2-3 hour game.
Yeah, the Lego games are really easy to platinum.
Yeah.
Really easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I haven't got a lot. I mean, to be fair, I haven't completed a lot of games in my life. Like, going back to Final Fantasy VIII, I never finished it.
Did you not?
Because I was on the last boss on disc 3.
Yeah. There were 4 discs on.
Yeah. I was on the last boss on. Yeah, games used to come on multiple discs. I was on the last boss on disc 3.
Yeah.
And I hadn't played it for a few months. I think I was around the time I got a job. So I never played it. I got the last boss and I was about to beat the last boss on the disc 3. And my friend went, "Oh, let's borrow that for a sec. Let's borrow that for a couple of weeks." Because he used to play them and he used to complete them quite quick. And he gave it back to me. Disc 3 was snapped.
Oh.
And he went, "Oh, I've got it, but I've only got the American version. I haven't got a chip PlayStation." So that's no good. So like I was on the last boss on disc 3 and he snapped disc 3. If I'd have finished it and got onto disc, wouldn't have been a problem.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah. And I think that's like a, it's a memory in my head, which is why I don't finish games. I had a friend actually who used to play Final Fantasy and she never ever completed one because she didn't want it to end.
Yeah, I can see that.
So she gets to the last boss and never play it again.
You can keep playing it even though you've completed it. That's the thing. Although
the older ones, I don't think you can you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Yeah, because they weren't specific. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
No, in fact, actually, the Final Fantasy VIII thing that happened, I did finish the third boss, the last boss, but I didn't save it on disc 4 because you have to put the new disc in and then save it, and then you're on disc 4.
And you didn't do that.
So every time I put disc 4 in, it'd say please put in disc 3, so you could go into that. It'll go, oh yeah, you have done this, and then it allows you to put in disc 4 again. I didn't get to a save point on disc 4, so I had finished that disc.
That's rubbish. My thing with I never completed 7.
Oh really?
Ever. I bought 2 versions of the game, and each one won't let me past a certain point, like the disc scratches.
Oh really?
Final Fantasy 7 is the most scratchable discs on the planet. Like I was so careful with putting them in the box and like closing it and just keeping it, but I'd always get to a point and it just wouldn't let me past.
Yeah.
And I never ever completed Final Fantasy 7.
One thing that surprised me that we spoke about, you never played Zelda, have you?
I was never a Nintendo kid. I never had Nintendos. I've never played any of it.
Oh my god.
No.
See, I've only ever played A Link to the Past.
Nintendo
really.
Doesn't appeal to me because it's too cartoony.
Not even the Mario games?
Not really.
Have you ever played a Mario game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had a Game Boy and it had the first Mario, and I've played Mario Kart and stuff. And I've played on it around other people's houses. I played Goldeneye. I didn't get the point of that either.
Oh my god!
I don't see. It's first person shooter. I don't care.
Yes.
It's never really appealed to me. Like the only one that really has, and I used to play with my brother, but only because my brother had it and it was enjoyable, was Time Splitters.
Oh, okay. I've never played Time Splitters.
That was a good game. But no, I never. It was Sega PlayStation, and here I am
forever PlayStation. Because I know you got a Nintendo Wii.
We've got the Wii. Yeah, we've got karting and
karting.
Mario.
Oh, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. And that's about it, really. Wii Sports and stuff like that.
Same as us.
Yeah.
We've got Wii Sports. We've got Wii Fit.
Yeah, Wii Fit.
We've got Mario Kart. I have got GoldenEye on it. It's fucking terrible on the Wii.
Yeah.
I mean, what else have we got? We've got the Mario, Super Mario Brothers. Not really a lot else. Just Dance for Chloe.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a lot on the Nintendo side of it. I mean, and now they've that's gone. The Wii, they're not making things for it anymore. Pretty I don't think. Now it's Wii U, which doesn't bother me.
No.
I've always been. Nintendo and Sega. just for certain games, because it used to be that was a Sega game, that was a Nintendo game.
You didn't have cross-platforming like you do now.
Not really for any games, really, was there? Yeah, now I'm kind of PlayStation through and through. I mean, the Xbox is good, but
yeah, I've got nothing against it. I started on PlayStation. The controller felt more comfortable.
Makes sense
in my hand, especially because the original Xbox controllers were fucking huge.
Yeah, the Duke.
Yeah, and I know they've refined them and they're a lot easier to use now, but just the PlayStation one, it just feels.
The PlayStation 4 is even better.
Yeah,
it's much better.
That's what I've heard.
Because the primary trigger buttons on PlayStation have always been R1 and L1.
Yeah,
they're the primary trigger buttons, but now they've moved it to L2 and R2, like the Xbox. But it makes more sense on that controller because I think the angle's slightly different, so that's how your hands fall.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, yeah, I know that people rave on about Nintendo and Zelda and stuff like that, and I'm sure they're great games, but it just doesn't. Again, what I've learned about myself, is that I don't give a fuck. Like the Goonies, I don't care about. Firefly, It doesn't appeal to me. Nintendo stuff doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah,
there's just stuff that it just doesn't do.
I think just the thing is if you had seen it
at the time, had I grown up with it, fair enough. Maybe I'd have been.
You'd be the same.
Yeah, but
it just you're not fussed if you miss something.
Yeah, and I won't go back to it.
It happened.
Yeah. What's the point?
Like Firefly, I never watched when it first came out. I was told to watch it. I was like, meh. I went and watched the film Serenity, and I was like, oh, that was really good. Maybe I will give Firefly a watch. And I watched Firefly, and it was really fucking good.
I have watched it, but it's something that didn't really register on my scale of anything really. I preferred Buffy.
Buffy's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. But this is about games.
Yeah, but Zelda is a great game. I mean, like I say, I've only ever played A Link to the Past, which is the second one.
Yeah.
I played a bit of the first N64 one. What was that? Ocarina of Time. I watched my brother play it mostly. And yeah, that was good. But I've not got into a lot. I kind of wanted a 3DS to play A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Which is back to the A Link to the Past style. But I've never got a 3DS because I'm not really fussed too much. I kind of want one.
No.
I'm not like if I don't get it, I'm going to die. It's more like it'd be cool to have one.
Yeah.
If I had a spare couple of £100, I'd go out and buy it.
But that's it as well. It's quite a lot of money for a handheld console.
For one game as well.
Yeah. And I get it. It's probably quite good graphic-wise and gameplay-wise, but that's quite an investment.
Yeah.
Game Boys cost like, what, 50 quid?
Yeah, I mean, I've got my Game Boy Advanced SP. I've got a Pokemon game on it. Suit me down to the ground. And Tetris.
Tetris is awesome.
Sorry,
it's the most simple game, but it's brilliant.
One of the best games that's ever been made.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
The most replay value of any game.
Yeah, ever. I've played it loads.
I say that Miles has played like 2 iterations of Diablo 3 now, and he's getting the PlayStation 4 version.
Right.
He's played hours on the PC. He's played hours on the PS3, I think, and now he's getting PS4. Then. Oh yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Was it Miles who made money off it?
Yeah, off of Diablo 2.
Very clever.
While he was at college, I believe.
Yeah. We did put out a question to anyone on Twitter and Facebook about what game they've been playing recently, or what their favourite and least favourite are. We haven't got any favourites or least favourites. We've just got what people are playing, I think.
Yeah. Have you got a favourite series?
Final Fantasy.
Oh, Final Fantasy.
I still have to say it, even though I haven't played one since 13.
I don't think I really have.
But apart from that, I really like the Batman Arkham ones. They're really good.
I don't think I've ever really played a series of games. I've played a couple of Final Fantasy games.
Assassin's Creed as well, I really like, even though they're effectively the same game every time. I don't care.
I think I'd have to say, if like the newer console generations of consoles, like the 3D consoles, I'd probably go Tomb Raider's probably one of my favourite. I've had most fun and most time playing.
See, again, I never used to really play Tomb Raider. I tried it and it was fine. I played a couple of iterations of it. The new one looks amazing and I probably should buy it.
Yeah.
But
it's another one I've played a couple of hours of.
Yeah.
It's I've got such a big shame pile of games.
See, I'm more of a completionist, and this is why I never have had many games in the past, is because I complete them and I spend hours doing it.
Yeah. But
yes, so we got a tweet from Dave Williams, our newest listener down in Cornwall there, and he's just basically put Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Yes.
Which does look amazing.
I haven't really seen a lot of it, to be fair. It's one of those games I haven't been a huge...
Again, it was one of those things that was on PC, and I never used to play PC. But for a first-person shooter, it looks bloody good.
Yeah.
And it might be possibly one that I get over my aversion to first-person shooters about... it's been getting, consistently anywhere between, there's a 6 out of 10, a couple of 6 out of 10s there, but also a 9 out of 10. So it probably averages in at around 7.
Yeah.
It's fantastical Nazi killing in the vein of probably, it's ridiculous kind of sci-fi mentalness.
Yeah, the funniest thing about that tweet though, like I said to you, because it says Wolfenstein on it, Twitter has asked us if we want to translate it from the German.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, that's a game I have seen and I have heard a lot about, and people do seem to like it. It doesn't come across to me as one of those like big, I wonder what's going to happen in this story. It just seems like people play it for fun.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change the world with its storytelling.
No, I don't think it's big on the story. It's just you
going in, shooting lots of Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that seems to be, what else do you need from a game, really? Also, we had Joe messaged in on Facebook saying Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. She loves the depiction of Jack Sparrow as a person who can't run, because he does, as if you've seen the films, he has the
flailing arms.
They've captured that really well, actually.
And the Lego characters run quite funny on the game. They're kind of like hopping
because they don't have knees.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he kind of flails all over the place. It's quite good.
Yeah.
And Steve Cheeseman, one of our friends from round the way, says that he's been going retro recently, and Final Fantasy VII is the game that he's been playing a lot of. Again, it's got that replay value. I think the early Final Fantasies.
Yes. And to be fair, like you said on our Nerd Church episode, when we were with them, they've got the greatest villain ever.
Yeah, Sephiroth.
Yeah. Looks cool.
Awesome.
Got a cool sword.
Spawned a film as well, Advent Children.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, great.
I actually played the PSP Final Fantasy VII. I can't remember what it was called. Because there was a lot of spin-off.
Oh yeah, there was like the Dirge of
console.
Cerberus and stuff
That's
like
the
that.
one. That's the PSP version, which I've got, and I've spent hours on that one.
Yeah, they were good games.
Yeah.
They were really good games. So yeah, there's the thoughts of some of the people that listen. Some of them who might not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the kind of test of the water. It's all over the shop. See?
Yeah, we got up to PlayStation 1. Maybe we'll have to go PS2 onwards next time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because we didn't spend a lot of time on the PS2, which is strange because it's the console I probably had longest.
Probably the greatest console there's ever been.
Do you reckon?
I think PlayStation 1 changed everything.
Yeah. And then
PlayStation 2 was just across the board was to use a term. It was an incredible console.
Yeah.
And it had some incredible games.
I think we could get another
episode out of that. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about it. Let us know your thoughts, and we can, if we do record another game episode, we'll
maybe we can get people on. Perhaps, who knows?
Yeah,
we'll do a little bit more.
This was a fairly unstructured episode, wasn't it? It was all over the place, but hey. There's our thoughts.
But
shout at us for not playing games. Those are some of our thoughts.
Yeah, come and have a go at me for not really liking things that everyone else seems to like.
Shout at me for not finishing games.
Yeah, make sure Ant actually finishes a game. Go and watch.
That was why I started my YouTube channel.
And give him,
and it caused me to not play anymore.
I was going to say go and give you more views on the YouTube channel, but maybe not.
Well, no, if I get more views, I'll probably be more likely to do it.
Oh, there you go.
Go and watch that Watchdogs race.
So that's it's Ant here. Is the name of the YouTube channel.
/It's Ant here.
I'm sure we'll talk more about games when the other Anthony comes on the show anyway.
That'll be confusing.
Yeah, that will be, won't it? Two Ants, one Tom.
Sounds like an interesting video.
That's a title right there. We don't even have to think about it.
When it comes in, good choice.
But anyway. Yeah, so we'll probably do another one of these. Let us know what you think about our thoughts, I guess. I don't know.
We'll call that a day.
We're always so good at ending shows. Anyway, but yeah, so that's it for Anywhere But Here this week. I've been Tom.
I've been Anne. Bye.